Grass. It's all around us. It's on the ground. It's unfortunately in the air. Every time that I mow my lawn, it ends up in the water of my pond and basins. So, with that, and with the fact that I am currently suffering terrible allergies that are keeping me on a strict diet of Benadryl and allergy medication, I decided it was a good opportunity to tackle the Costawas region's grass starters. Now, before we actually get into the starters, I did want to let you know that this video today is heavily edited to kind of cut down and make sure that we're within a certain time frame. All the art is sped up. If you want to see the art not sped up, if you want to see the actual process, get a little bit more of my thought on drawing, head on over to the Patreon. It's brand new. It's a weird and crazy thing to know that this is something that I'm doing now. You can support me on Patreon, where you'll be able to get access to some of the unedited videos, the art files that I use for these drawings, as well as a ton of other stuff. If you're an artist who loves drawing Fakemon, or just anything in general, you can hop into our exclusive chat and be able to get some pointers, tips, and just good conversation with myself and other artists. But with that, and with the opportunity for Patreon already explained, I'll go ahead and jump into the rest of the video here. Let's explore the Costawas region's grass starters. So when thinking up a grass starter for the Costawas region, I really wanted to focus on animals that are found in the western coast of the United States. That's where I live, it's what I know. So I wanted to go with a possum, but as I was venturing through and kind of just thinking this character out a little bit more, I came to incorporate a couple different rodent features into this design. I knew that I wanted a possum because with the theming of the Costawas region, I wanted something that felt performative, something that felt like an actor or a musician, and I thought, what better than an animal known for playing possum, playing dead? And so I really got this character here, and I really came to love and just enjoy the concepts and designs that have been captured here. You can see I'm including this little tooth, which isn't normally associated with possums, more so with rats and other rodentia. And I felt like it was cute. I felt like it was something that really gave some definition to the face and some structure to the mouth area. I also gave it this little poof on its head, which kind of looks like a third ear now that I'm looking at it, but I like it. It's this little pompadour, this little well-coiffed hair, which I think really adds to the nervousness of this first stage grass starter. He has almost these pajama-like pants, this ill-fitting costume, almost appearing kind of clown-like. And his eyebrows, I wanted to include that music motif, so they almost look like music notes. And that will carry through all across. The biggest thing was something that I decided to add kind of last minute. And that's this little cape that he has kind of hanging down on his back. Again, ill-fitting, kind of wrapped, very bunched up around his neck. But I think that it really tells a story, especially for the direction that we're going with this character. So here I am playing with some of the colors. I really, really enjoyed mixing in that pink with that green, that olivey, almost evergreen type color with that, the darker point has a little bit of blue mixed in, and then that pink to the tail and nose. I really fell in love with that color combination of the pinks and the greens, and it was so cool to be able to watch that carry through into the other forms as well. But we're not talking about the other forms right now. We're talking about this main guy, our starter. This is the Pokemon that I really wanted to make sure when you see it, you feel like this Pokemon could be your friend, and that it has some emotion, and that it has this potential to grow. Most starter Pokemon that you see throughout the anime and throughout the games, and in fact, I would say all starter Pokemon, have an aura of feel about them. They have some emotion that's really tied closely to them, and I wanted to capture this shy and almost pitiful vibe to this Pokemon. And that's where we came up with the name. That's where I decided on the whole direction for the growth of this character. So we have Oh Pity, play on opossum and pity. He's a performer that mainly focuses on the idea that you pity him rather than are excited by his performance. And as he grows and as he changes, we'll see him kind of come into his own. So we jump over to our second form, our evolution to this Pokemon. He's a little bit more confident. I wanted to capture that first and foremost. His hair is not so neatly coiffed, but is now not so much messy, but is his own. He feels a little bit more punk, a little bit more energy. And I wanted him to have that confident feel of, oh man, it's going to sound terrible to say, but almost of like a multi-year theater kid. He is the best. He believes that he is the best and that he's the brightest and that he's got so much to go. And that may be true. It really depends on where you as a trainer choose to take him. But he has his cape that's now expanded to become a part of him. It's no longer bunched around his neck, but it fits much more elegantly. Those eyebrows, as you can see us drawing now, are turned downward to give him this more dour and more uppity glance. And the idea of turning up your nose at someone really took shape here. He has this uplifted nose. He has this almost Phantom of the Opera like mask. And yeah, it was really fun. I got to play with a lot of the shapes and a lot of the elements that really make up this character. He has so much emotion, so much just confidence, like ill-placed confidence, being that he is a middle evolution, a form that I think most of us take for granted as almost the rookie form. It's the adolescent, awkward transitional stage between. And while I think that he captures that really well in feeling like he's a combination of what was and what is to come, I still enjoy it. I wanted to fix the problem that I have with middle forms, which is that I never really like them. Even my favorite Pokemon, my favorite starters like Totodile and Feraligatr, Croconaw just feels out of place. It feels like it doesn't fit. Other Pokemon like Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. Charmeleon doesn't stand out as much as Charmander and Charizard, at least in my opinion. And I wanted to kind of fix that with this, give it something that I felt, okay, I could be excited and happy to have this middle evolution. I will say, the only Pokemon that I didn't feel that way with, at least for a long time, was the Trico line. Let me know if you agree. I remember seeing the Grovyle in the Pokemon anime and thinking that is such a cool design. That is so crazy that I genuinely thought maybe this generation, I was really young, maybe this generation doesn't evolve twice because this is such a cool design. And then when he evolved into Sceptile, I was kind of disappointed. And I really came around to that. I don't know if it was the fact that I just got to know it more in game, or the fact that I got Wonder Traded a shiny Sceptile, my first shiny ever Wonder Traded. But this is Opander, and we love Opander because he really goes with that mentality of, he goes from being pitied to now he's the one performing for the audience. He's pandering to the audience, maybe not being himself, but at least he's successful. That whole concept with just I don't know, pandering and working for your audience rather than for yourself. He's successful, and that's what makes him feel big, and that's where that confidence really comes from with Opander. So far we have Opity and Opander, and now we're moving into our final evolution. With this form, I wanted to capture the same vibe as characters like Delphox and Marini? Am I wrong on that? I can't even remember the name of the... Let me know how dumb I am with forgetting this. Remind me the name of the final evolution of the water starter for the Alola region. Because I am fully blanking on it right now. But I wanted it to have this performative and very grandiose vibe. I wanted him to feel like a ringmaster or like a Mozart type character, someone who knows their worth and knows that they are built to perform, built to be bigger and larger than life. And that's really what I wanted. I love the stance that I landed on with this guy, and how his hair goes from being this tiny little poof in his first form to being this little swoop in the second, and now it is that orchestral kind of what we think of with like Beethoven, the big swooped back hair that also makes him just feel larger. Take that and add in the fact that we've made his cape so much longer, so much broader, and incorporated this almost dead grass type vibe. Remember, at the beginning, we wanted to capture that this was a Pokemon who plays dead. This is a possum. And while that may feel like ghost type, I wanted to instead capture the performance part of that. So he's going to be grass psychic type. We'll see at the end. And man, I love this design. I will say, if you've been watching my videos for a while or are signed up to the Patreon, you'll know that my mascot has become the water starter of this region, Cristanguish. And I haven't done a ton of art for him apart from what I consider the official artwork. But man, this Pokemon is really, really giving him a run for his money, which I consider big success, at least for me, because I want to have it where each new design really outshines the last. And then maybe I'll go back and redesign the others so that they feel like they're on the same page. But you can see here, I really fell in love with this concept and this design. I'm not a big fan of the bipedal, very human-looking Pokemon, but it felt really like it fit here. He is a performer. He is an actor. He is a musician. He is all these things that the Kostawes region calls trainers and Pokemon to be. His mask has evolved to become more so this jester-like or Marcel Marceau mime type, very educated in performance type of mask. It's very, what's the word? Contemporary, I should say. And the pink of his nose now reflected against that white and the lines of the face now almost feels like a clown. He feels very professional clown. Not like rodeo and not like kids circus, but very like traditional artistic clown. And that was kind of an accident, but it ended up being something that I was really, really happy with. And a lot of the designs that happen here, like he isn't fully clean. He has a lot of that roughness to the grass and to the cape that surround him. But he is ultimately the master of this line. And so there we have him. That's Opompous. So a combination of the words opossum and pompous. He's no longer the pitiful or the pandering actor. He is now pompous and full of himself because he knows just how good of a performer he is, just how great of a battler he is. And that is our grass starter line for Kostawes. Man, that was a ton of fun. I really, really enjoyed drawing these guys. And again, if you want to see the full, I believe, 2-hour video of me drawing these guys and going over some of the thoughts that I have over the design, that will be shared on Patreon. In fact, the art for this is already posted there. I'm going to be posting to Patreon first, and then to YouTube or Instagram, but it will end up at both, depending on how those things work out. So you can stay up to date with me through all those things. I'll have all the socials linked down below in the description. It's really something new that I'm trying out.